Greetings, cyberdogs and citizens of the internet. This is ReNDoG coming at you from the Renstar space platform in this Let's Play Minecraft Feed the Beast series. In the previous episode, we were working on an electronic circuit factory, and in this episode, my friends, we are going to be adding a maintenance stairway entrance to the Renstar space platform's power module, and it is going to be freaking sweet. I hope you have a tasty ass beverage, I hope you have some crunchy ass snacks, I hope you're comfortable, and I hope your brain is ready for some crafting, man. Let's play some Minecraft Feed the Beast! Well, my friends, it is Sunday afternoon, and in the life of ReNDoG, that means it is time to play some Feed the Freaking Beast. Oh man, give me 1 second, guys. I need to take a sip of my beverage. I'm gonna need this caffeine to freaking get me through this jazz, man, because we have got a ridiculous amount of stuff to do today, guys. Our primary goal for today's Feed the Beast episode is going to be to construct a stairwell over here, which is going to be the primary means of getting into the maintenance level from the power module of the Renstar space platform. You know, a ton of you cyberdogs have been pointing out that at the moment, we don't have an efficient way to actually get down into the maintenance level. The way that we're getting down there is by either flying out through an open window or by getting in there via these trap doors in the nuclear reactor chamber. And obviously, when the Renstar space platform's power module becomes airtight, we're going to need a much better way to get into the space platform. So what I thought we would do is in this location over here, perhaps build like a staircase or a stairwell of some kind that'd be able to take us down into the maintenance level. And if we just get a little bit of height on the Renstar's power module over here, what I'm thinking is about building a stairwell over here in this position, and then one over there in that position, and then having the air dock entrance bay over here and over there, and that'll keep the Renstar space platform nice and symmetrical, I think. I was going to make an airlock in each of the different wings of this particular power module, but I don't think we need 4 freaking airlocks, and if we don't make an interesting way to get down into the maintenance level now, we're going to be pretty stuck. I mean, we'll literally just have to like break a hole in the floor or something to fall down into the maintenance level. So today I want to find an interesting way to get down into the maintenance level, and I've got a pretty sweet ass idea in my brain. But before we get to that, guys, we have a few things to do. Number one, I want to build the rest of the maintenance level floor down here, and I do believe that this turtle does have some aluminum in its butthole. Yep, it's got about a stack and a quarter. Let's head down into the metalworks factory to see if we have any more aluminum down here. Over the last 2 hours or so, guys, I've had to open up 2 more quarries because 2 of our quarries were actually finished. We've got 3 stacks of aluminum in there, which is sweet. But that means that we are very shortly going to have a new influx of materials into our sorting system, which is awesome. You can already see some redstone is on the way from our quarries. But we should be getting a butt ton more aluminum at some point too. I don't actually think this is going to be enough aluminum to actually build this entire platform. I think we actually have a little bit more aluminum up in these chests over here. I have been, believe it or not, sorting out my chests up here because it's been getting a little bit out of hand. I've also put old Bacon over here, Lieutenant Bacon, in a pen. Because when I started working on the foundation for the stairway over here, Bacon was precariously hanging around on the edge. And I do not want his cute little butt to plummet to his death, man. He is just way too freaking awesome for that. But I don't think we're going to have enough aluminum to finish off this entire platform. Let's give it a go. CD platform. Platform 18 by 18. No, we're 10 aluminum blocks short. Man, that is so freaking annoying. Alright, so I guess we're going to have to do platform 18 by 17 and then just wait for more aluminum. Alright, so the turtle's going to do his business, and that's the one task that I wanted to do today. The next one, guys, is while I was sorting out my chests, I realized what we could probably do is hook up one of our utility stations to the sorting system. Now that the sorting system is connected to the cyber labs down there and is basically feeding items into our factories over there, we might as well connect up one of these utility stations to the sorting system so that if we have things in our inventories, inventory when we're working on the Renstar space platform, we can just stick it into the sorting system via the utility station. So what we're going to do, guys, is I'm going to add a restriction tube. And for those of you guys who can't remember what a restriction tube is, a restriction tube is a pneumatic tube with a bit of iron in it, basically. And what this restriction tube does is it acts as a really long piece of tubage. So when we eventually connect this relay to our sorting system, the sorting system is not going to recognize the relay as an available chest, because I think this restriction tube actually counts as something like 5,000 blocks of tube, something like that. I don't know the exact numbers, but the restriction tube is going to ensure that none of the materials coming from the quarry are going to go into that relay, because the system won't recognize the relay as an open chest. So that's what we're going to do there. Then we're going to connect a nice tube of pneumatic goodness all the way to our current pneumatic tube system, which is over here. I think we're... yeah, let's have a look. One more. There we go, kaplam, sweet. All right, so we've got one utility station pretty much fired up here. Let's do a little bit of a test here. I think I've got some items in these chests that we can actually send down into the sorting systems. Let's get rid of this nickelite. That might be a good test. What else? Do we have any like lapis or glowstone or redstone in here? Oh, sweet. Okay, we've got some redstone in here. And let's have a look. Anything else in here? Well, we can use this... oh, there's some lapis. Sweet. All right, so let's put this lapis and this redstone into this relay, like this. And what that should do is it should pump those items into this pneumatic pipe. There we go. And these items are now entering into our sorting system. These items should travel all the way to this junction over here. The nickelite should head this way, and the redstone and lapis should head toward the factory. And, man, this is actually quite a sweet moment in this series. This is the first time the Renstar is basically slowly but surely becoming autonomous, right? Check it out. There we go. It's working. Sweet. That's the very first utility station that's completely connected. Epic. Well, almost completely connected, right? Because the MFE is connected. It's got 60,000 EUs. Now the sorting station is connected. All we need to do now is finish off the recycling chest over here, which is going to send items to a recycling facility. But that's sweet. Epic. All right, well, that's task 1 of today's episode already done, man. Sweet. Feeling good. Now, task 2 of today's episode, guys, is I think checking in on the nuclear reactor chambers. I'm pretty sure that we are out of power. Let's have a look in the power station or the power control room over here. Yep, nuclear reactor beta's on 0 time. Nuclear reactor alpha's on 0 time. Cyberlabs is running out of power, and our MFSU arrays are slowly getting tapped now that we've run out of nuclear power juice. So let's head into nuclear chamber alpha, reactor chamber 1 rather, and let's head down into the quaduranium cell factory. Yeah, man, I can't wait to have a better way to get down here, guys, seriously. And I think I've actually made, oh yeah, I've made another batch of quaduranium cells already. Sweet. Now all we have to do is get these nuclear reactors plugged in again, and then that'll get everything fired up once more. 4 quaduranium cells into reactor A, or alpha. 4 quaduranium cells into reactor beta. Let's just make sure I haven't messed anything up. Perfect. And then let's dispose of these depleted uranium cells in a friendly, environmentally friendly way. All right, there we go, guys. We're going to have another 2 hours and 50 minutes of power, 320 EUs per tick, 2 hours and 46 minutes of power, 320 EUs per tick. Sweet. So the Renstar is ticking over, the Cyberlabs are ticking over, the quarries are ticking over, and we can now focus our attention on crafting an awesome little stairwell over here. And this is going to be awesome. Looks like the Turtles finished his job. Unfortunately, didn't get to actually finish off the whole platform. Maybe we can do that at the end of this episode. But let's have a look at what I've been working on so far, guys. So very much like the airlock bay entrance over here. Let's just have a quick look at this. The way that this system works is that when we hit this button, this opens up into an airlock that we can open up and get out of the Renstar space platform, right? So it's kind of like it's basically an airlock bay. But in this case, I think all we're going to need to do is open up a doorway into a stairwell that's going to take us down into the maintenance level. So I think the first task for today is to get the entrance into this stairwell set up. And I think we'll do it in exactly the same way as we did with the airlock bay. Let's make sure that the designs are, you know, following each other, that they're synchronized across the Renstar space platform. Let's have a look. All right, so that's pretty much the same way that we designed the airlock bay. Next up, I think, let's install the actual door. So these are sticky pistons over here that are going to push down these copper blocks to actually close the door into the stairwell. And then I think we probably need another... We'll need another button on this side so that we can get back in if we want to come into the top level of the Renstar power module. So I'm thinking we probably want that to be... Well, we could probably work on that once we start working on the stairwell. First and foremost, what we want to do, I think, is get these sticky pistons powered up. And to do that, I'm going to use these awesome redstone frames. And I think I'm going to do it like this, so that the redstone frames don't sort of stick out on top of the roof of the Renstar space platform. And then I think I'll run it along this side too, underneath. Now, these frames are going to be delivering a redstone power source, or a redstone source, into the sticky pistons to fire them up. And then I think the goal should be to disengage that power source using the button that's going to sit on this block, and then that's going to detract the sticky pistons and thus open the sliding door. Alright guys, just took a minute there to have a look at the system and work out what we need to do next, and I think that our sticky pistons are now correctly connected to these redstone frames. Let's stick a redstone torch in this position over here. That's going to fire all 3 or all 6 of the pistons exactly the way that we want it to. Now, what we're going to need to do is get a button installed on this side of the door, and then a button installed on this side of the door too. So what we want to happen when we hit this button, we want to kill the redstone signal going to this redstone torch over here. So using some red alloy wire, let's run a line from this block. Can we run it directly down? No. I think what we're going to have to do is run it like this, so that it goes into this block over here. Now let's have a look. When we hit this button, perfect. So this button is sending a redstone signal into that block, which is killing the redstone torch signal. So that's perfect. Now next up, we need to do exactly the same thing, but on this side of the stairwell entrance. And I think... How can we do this? Maybe something like... Maybe something like this? Oops. So let's build up the entrance on this side of things. So the entrance is going to look like this, right? Then, if we stick the button over here so that it's in exactly the same position over here, that's some nice symmetry going on. I quite like that. Now, all we need to do is get these two connected. Oh, we could actually do this over the top like this, right? There we go. Perfect. Okay, that's awesome. Now, our door is opening. I think what we probably want to do, though, on this side of things is cover the shame. So let's get some iron covers over here. Let's cover that up. What about on this side? Oh, we've got the frames on this side, but we can stick the iron covers into those redstone frames. There we go. Might as well actually get rid of the door for now. Alright, perfect. So that's contracting and opening up very nicely. I'm quite happy with that. Now, the next part of this task is going to be to actually work on the stairway. I think what I want to do is just get all of the mechanics and whatnot in place first, and then we can work on the aesthetics of the place. But I guess for now, the next step is to get a stairway to go all the way down here and loop back around so that we can get down into the maintenance level. And I think the best way to do that is to use copper block slabs and copper block slab strips, which is basically copper block slabs cut in half. And the reason for that is because we don't have a lot of space to work here, right? We need to go down like what, probably like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, probably like 10 blocks down in a staircase. And if we just use normal stairs, I think we would be extending this maintenance entrance by miles, and it would look kind of stupid. Like, we've got to try and keep this particular entrance not that long, right? It's already much longer than the airlock bay over there. And we don't want it to stick out too much, or it's going to look kind of weird, like a finger or something sticking out of the power module. So why don't we try and use these half slab blocks instead? Alright, CyberDog, so it looks like this stairwell is going to be 3 blocks wide, which means one wing of the stairwell is going to have to be 2 blocks wide, and the other wing of the stairwell is going to have to be 1 block wide. So here's what I'm thinking, right? Why don't we make the wing that's going down from the power module into the maintenance area 2 blocks wide, and then have another 1 block wide smaller stairwell that'll go into the maintenance level itself. So check it out. This is how we're going to do this, right? Because we're making this stairwell out of these half slabs, we have to do it like this. It's kind of painful because the blocks are kind of annoying to put in. That's why I've got to make these little foundation platforms over here. It's actually quite hard to do this with your jetpack. Alright, there we go, guys. I'm quite happy with the descending staircase. I think that's looking pretty awesome. Now we can start working on the second wing of the staircase that's going to go down into the maintenance level. So let's use this level over here to jetpack up into to give us a little bit of leverage. There we go, man. That's actually working really awesome. Now what we can do is turn the corner over here, right, so to speak. So the stairwell is going to turn in this direction. Let's get another one of these half slabs in this position over here. Let's just fly up into there. There we go. Sweet. And I think we can add another one underneath. There we go. And now we can start the staircase descending downwards like so. So this staircase is going to go all the way down to the maintenance level, and this staircase goes all the way up to the maintenance level, and that's looking actually pretty freaking sweet, man. I just need to cut up some more of these copper half slabs, and man, we should be quite close to finishing this now. Alright, cyber dogs, welcome back. The moon is rising over the Renstar, man. What an awesome view. And I'm just finishing off the second wing of our staircase over here. I think that's probably, yeah, that's about right. So just a few more blocks and a few more slabs, and our second wing of our stairwell should be now connected up. There we go. Sweet. Let's have a look at what that looks like. Man, that's looking pretty awesome. Check it out, right? So if we want to get up into the power module from the maintenance level, we're going to come up this little spiral staircase over here, hit the button. It's going to open up the sleepy pistons to let us into the maintenance level, and vice versa. We're going to go down this little spiral staircase over here into the maintenance level, and bam, we are there. Alright, man, that's looking pretty awesome. I think next up what we need to do is work on closing this whole thing out. Like, what is this actual thing going to look like? It's looking a little bit messy right now, and how are we going to sort of hide the shame of this spiral staircase too? Looks like we still have quite a ton of work to do. And I think what I want to do is go with a similar design that we have in the windows over here of the Renstar. So the windows of the Renstar are lined by inverted gray lamps, and then have a glass window in between the lamps. And I think that looks pretty freaking awesome. So I kind of want to do exactly the same thing. I want to line these spaces with inverted gray lamps and then add glass to them. So when you open the door, you will get a nice view of the outside area, but maybe when you go down the staircase, maybe there's no glass down here, so it feels a lot more maintenance-y, if you know what I'm saying. Awesome. All right, well, this actually means we get to use our inverted gray lamp factory a little bit too, which is sweet. Let's have a look at how much jazz we have over here. Oh, and I made a slight adjustment to our factory over here too, guys. I separated the light gray... what is this making? Light gray dye factory or sub factory of this particular factory. I gave it a different circuit so that we can turn it on without having to turn on the rest of the factory. And I was finding that, I don't know, this factory is very inefficiently built, I must say. This is probably needs to be redone, but for now it is basically doing what I need it to do, and that is create inverted light gray lamps for us. And as you can see, it is doing its job. It's sending the light gray dye to these chests. All I need to do though is manually ensure that the barrels are sort of filled and ready to go. And if we just flick on our factory for a couple of cycles over here, we should be able to produce quite a few inverted gray lamps. How many do we have so far? We've got 51 over here. Definitely need to make a few more, I think. So let's just let this factory run for a bit. Well, guys, the factory has been running very inefficiently and been driving me freaking crazy. There's items and jazz flying all over the place. But I've managed to make a couple of stacks of inverted light gray lamps. So that's fine for now. When we work on the factory module of the Renstar Space platform, we're going to make sure that our factories are 100% freaking awesome and that we don't experience these kind of problems again. But that being said, it was much quicker to make inverted gray lamps this way in that factory than having to do it manually in a crafting table. So even though our factory is a little bit of a butthole, I'm still very grateful to have it, if I'm totally honest with you, man. Because I managed to make a couple stacks of these inverted lamps really fast, like, you know, in like a minute. So that's awesome. So guys, I'm going to get these inverted gray lamps installed over here with a little bit of glass, and we'll take a look at what it looks like on the other side of this kaplooey. Alright guys, welcome back. Just been installing these iron blocks over here and it's starting to look pretty awesome. What I want to do now is get the glass in place so that we can get a preliminary feel of what this staircase is going to look like, or what this maintenance entrance is going to look like. And I think it's starting to look pretty awesome. I really love the way that these inverted gray lamps look with the iron blocks and the glass. I just think it's, man, it's just, the textures just go together so nicely. They just have such a spaceship feel to them. It's so freaking awesome, man. But check it out. That's awesome. And we've also got a pretty interesting effect going over here. When we come down to the second level of the stairway, we have this line of white light going around the iron blocks, which I think looks really sweet. In fact, looks absolutely epic. I'm thinking that maybe what we should try and do is get some more orange in here. But I don't know, man. I really kind of like the way that it's looking at this moment in time. What I do want to do though is sort of cover the shame of the entrance on this side a bit, get it looking a little bit more maintenance level-y. Alright guys, just had a freaking brainwave, man. I want to make this side of the automatic door exactly the same as this side. So I've swapped out the iron blocks on this side for these reinforced blocks. Let's get the button reinstalled and get the whole thing wired up again. There we go, and let's cover the shame with some iron, with an iron cover over here. Like that. All right, there we go. So now both sides of the automatic door are exactly the same. Both sides are symmetrical. That looks pretty sweet, I think. Maybe what we want to do, though, is swap out these blocks over here, or these covers, with copper covers. I think that's probably going to look a lot sweeter. Alright, welcome back my friends. I have just been working on making the entrance into our maintenance stairwell look a little bit more maintenance-y, I guess. So what I've done, guys, is I've replaced the iron covers on the sides of the entrance with copper covers. And I think that the orange just makes it look a little bit like what it's supposed to be doing, which is getting our buttholes down into the maintenance level. I think the next step for us now, guys, is to work out what the top of this little roof is going to look like. And what I'm thinking is I would really like to use some inverted orange lamps here, because man, nothing looks more maintenance-y than one of these orange lamps. And what I'm thinking is we could probably use them above this stairwell wing over here. So if we, do we have any more copper blocks? Yeah, we've got some copper blocks over here. So check it out, right? If we hide the shame of our red tube frames over there, like so, and then install an inverted orange cage lamp over here, so that when we go down this staircase, we have this orange lamp just above us. That looks pretty sweet, I think. And we probably want this block to be an iron block, I guess. Like that. That looks pretty awesome. And I think if we could get this orange lamp above us over here somehow. Is there like a central point over here? Let's have a look. Yeah, there's a central point right here. So if we stick the inverted orange lamp over there, well, it's okay. It's kind of in the way though. I'm not mad about this, where this inverted lamp is sitting actually. Alright guys, let's try something a little bit different to get this inverted orange cage lamp installed. We've got a little bit of like natural space above here, above these two levels over here, and what I'm thinking is maybe what we could do is raise the inverted orange lamp by one block into this open space over here, and I think that might work quite nicely. So check it out, right? If we did this and stuck the inverted orange cage lamp, oops, not in this position, but in the middle of the cross there, so check it out, that raises it up a level. It also creates a little bit of depth over here, and I think that looks pretty freaking awesome. Check it out, man. That does look pretty awesome. The only problem with this design, if we look at it from the outside, is that it looks really, really square, and even though from the inside it doesn't look square at all, from the outside it's looking, I don't know, it's definitely looking a little bit too square for my particular taste. So we're going to have to try and figure out how to make it look better on the outside. But as far as the inside is concerned, I'm really happy with this design, man. Check it out. That is looking really sweet. Yeah, man, that looks badass. I love that, man. That is sweet. Alright, so this stairway is coming along quite nicely, and what I think we need to do now is figure out how we're going to contain this staircase into the Renstar space platform itself. We need to basically build a wall around this staircase and make it look quite natural, I think. And I think what I'm going to try and do is experiment using iron slabs to do this so that we don't use a whole bunch of iron blocks. And I think iron slabs will also give a nice little bit of depth also, because what we can do is we can build the wall of iron slabs like this, right? So check it out. If we build like a wall of iron slabs like so, on the outside it creates like a nice little dent over there, so it doesn't look super square, and on the inside it also creates this little bit of space here in between the stairwell and the wall. So I think that looks pretty cool too. So I'm gonna experiment a little bit with this, guys, and we will have a look together on the other side of this kaplaya. Alright, Cyberdogs, welcome back. I am currently using iron half slabs to attempt to complete the walls of our maintenance stairwell over here, but let me tell you, man, this is some tricky jazz. Jetpack crafting 101, man. It is not easy to do this. What you basically have to do is fly yourself up into the top like this, and then you can sort of take aim, or try and take aim anyway, and get the walls installed like this, burning through jetpack fuel like nobody's business, man. But as you can see, I kind of like how the walls break up the squareness of this particular structure over here. And I think what will help too is when we install the lips over here too, like we have on all of the windows, we have this sort of lip structure. So I'm going to get all of these installed too and have a look at what it looks like on the other side. But man, we are busting through a butt ton of iron blocks in this particular build. And it kind of makes me nervous, because what we still need to do is cover the whole Renstar in iron blocks or iron half slabs, or basically just iron. And man, even though we do have a butt ton of iron, if just to cover this power module in iron is going to be ridiculous. I mean, we don't even have enough aluminum to build like one floor of the maintenance level at the moment, so it's kind of concerning me a little bit. But there we go, guys. That's looking a little bit better now too, I think. Kind of helps to break up the even structure that we've got going on over here. But I'm gonna carry on working on the aesthetics, guys. I'll bring you back on the other side of this kaploo and we'll have a look. Kaplaya! Alright guys, welcome back. I've just been working on trying to make the top of this thing look a little bit better, and what I've just noticed is that our current build is not symmetrical with the rest of the Renstar. If we have a look at the windows of the Renstar, the inverted grey lamps at the top run on basically one block higher than our current set of inverted grey lamps. So what I'm going to do is raise up all of these inverted grey lamps by one block to see if we can get this thing a little bit more symmetrical, and that might help us with the design of this thing. So let's have a look at what this is going to look like. Well, my friends, as Steve Jobs would say, that pretty much changes everything. Raising those inverted grey lamps up by one has actually changed the entire design, and I think it's changed it for the better. What I've done is I've raised it up by one, I've added another layer of glass so the windows are a little bit bigger, and I've added a layer of iron over here too. And what I'm thinking is we can complete the roof. We don't need to see through the top of the roof, I think. Or maybe we can just have like a really small window, but I kind of want the roof of this stairwell entrance to be kind of solid so that it looks more maintenance-y. So I'm going to experiment with that and see what that looks like. But man, this is slowly but surely coming together. And I think that this redesign has also broken up the squareness that we were seeing in the previous design. So that's looking pretty awesome. And it's just all coming together really, really nicely. All I need to do now, guys, is finish off these walls over here too, to try and get a final look at what this entrance might look like from a distance. But we are getting there, man. Welcome back, my friends. I'm just at the utility station over here having a drink of water and recharging my freaking jetpack, man. Damn, this has been some serious crafting in today's episode, and man, I'm really happy with how it's starting to turn out. Things are starting to look pretty freaking sweet in here, man. Check it out. Now all I'm trying to figure out is exactly how to finish off this freaking project. And man, we're going to have to rinse and repeat this design on the other side of the Renstar. So I'm trying to make it as simple as possible. The one thing that I'm trying to figure out now, guys, is how the outside walls of this maintenance staircase is going to look. At the moment, if we travel a far distance away, it's looking kind of cool. But I don't know, man. It just looks quite irony, I guess. I think I want to try and get some more copper in there, I guess. Get some copper strips or something like that going on. But at the moment, what I'm trying to do is create as many different levels as possible. I quite like it when we see these levels. And by levels, I mean steps, right? Because the steps help to sort of break up the monotony of a build and help to break up the squareness of a build. So for example, if we added another row of iron slab strips over here to cover up the shame of the inverted grey lamps, check it out, right? That's going to add another little level of steps to the whole build, and it's going to break it up even further from a distance. Let's just get these last two added in, and yeah, it is extremely annoying trying to craft like this, man. It is pain in the butt, but there we go, man. So check it out, right? Just get this one in place, and if we travel a little bit distance away, you can see that that adds another sort of step level there, which looks really cool and helps to break up the squareness of the whole thing. And what I'm currently trying to work on here, guys, is the final area that's going to surround the staircase itself. And I want to make the area in such a way that when you look at it from the outside, it doesn't look really, really square. So I'm trying to make different levels where possible, but this isn't quite working out for me at the moment. I'm going to have to do a bunch of experimenting around here, I think. But for now, guys, I've been playing for about 2.5 hours, and I need a freaking break. My brain and my voice is starting to get pretty tired. So we're going to end the episode here, and then in the next episode, guys, we're going to continue working on this staircase. But let's have one final look at what this bad boy is looking like so far. We go up this little staircase wing and then up this big staircase wing into the entrance into the power module of the Renstar space platform. Let's just get the automatic door installed completely for the full experience. And in here is looking pretty awesome. Let's get this glass back in here too. So what we can do is walk back down into the maintenance level. We open up the door to get into the power module of the Renstar space platform. And if we want to get down into the maintenance level of the Renstar space platform, open up the button, enter this nice looking room. It's looking really nice in here, actually. Loving it. Go down the spiral staircase and bam, we are into the maintenance level of the Renstar space platform. Anyway, Cyberdogs, I hope you have enjoyed today's episode, and I hope you're enjoying this build. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, and if you have any hints or tips for me to make this thing look a little bit better, I will be reading the comments of this video. Well, until next week, guys, I hope you have enjoyed feeding the beast with me, ReNDoG. If you have, you hit that like button, and if you haven't subscribed yet, you hit that freaking subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. We will see you in the next one.